Uncharted 2 is a fast-paced, globe-trotting, cinematic adventure unlike anything you've ever played before, and it greatly improves upon the established formula of the first game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Believable characters, breathtaking graphics, diverse locales, and a story packed to the brim with betrayals, unveils, and plot twists will keep you hooked from start to finish. The initial plot begins with Drake being recruited by a former friend and fellow fortune hunter, Harry Flynn, to swipe an object from a Turkish museum. The reason? The lamp belonged to Marco Polo and perhaps holds a secret to finding his lost fleet, and more importantly, all the treasures he acquired in Kublai Khan's courts. Without spoiling the tightly paced plot, Drake sets out to find the legendary Jintamani stone before the psychopathic war criminal Lazarevich can take it for himself.
So, this little man is Drake.
Along Drake's adventure, he makes plenty of friends and foes while traveling all over the world. A museum in Istanbul, a war-torn Nepalese city, the swamps of Borneo, icy Himalayan mountaintops, just to name a handful. The plot is filled with intrigue and action throughout, and trust me when I say, you will have a very, very hard time putting this game down. Of course, this could be due to how engaging the gameplay is. Never are you forced to watch a lengthy action sequence unfold in a cutscene. If it's action, you're in control. The game is played as a third-person, cover-based shooter. You can snap to cover and pop out to aim or just blind fire. Improved from the first Uncharted, grenades now have a dedicated button, making them infinitely more usable. Additionally, a visceral yet fundamentally simple melee mechanic has been implemented. One button to punch, another button to break a grapple. The results of rushing an enemy for a beatdown is undeniably satisfying. Aside from the typical cover shooter mechanics, the Uncharted series is known for its climbing, jumping, and general acrobatic moves. While not as pervasive or freeform as the likes of, say, Assassin's Creed, Nathan Drake can climb, swing, shimmy, leap, or roll through just about any set of obstacles. The shooting and platforming are perfectly intertwined, such that you can be hanging off the side of a rushing train and still be able to perform melee attacks or weapon attacks. Of the less refined elements, early in the game you have a brief stealth section. While this section works fine and is pretty entertaining, it can be a tad trial and error frustration, and downright silly enemy AI can cause quite a few chuckles. There is, however, no shortage of insane situations in Uncharted 2. The game opens with a massive train crash high in the mountaintops and just gets more intense from there. You'll find yourself sneaking into guarded facilities, fighting across the top of a speeding train, leaping through frozen ice caverns, solving puzzles in ancient Buddhist temples, avoiding helicopters and tanks in an urban war zone, and barely surviving frequent death-defying leaps. On a purely graphical level, a new standard has been established for action-adventure games. By now, you've seen quite a bit of footage for the game, so I'll let it speak mostly for itself. The water effects from the first game are back and better than ever, but the real showstopper here is the amazing snow and ice that Naughty Dog has created. No other game has so convincingly portrayed snow, water, or ice. The character models are stunningly detailed, and they're animated in voice so naturally that you'll forget it's a video game, not a movie.
It's time to tip the odds back in our favor.
The soundtrack is everything you'd expect, appropriately epic when need be, but never once would the soundtrack heavy-handedly dictate the mood. In fact, the sound in Uncharted 2 is phenomenal. The voice acting and sound effects are convincing and realistic, and the voice work is witty when necessary and appropriately heavy when the time is called for it.
Where did you find this guy?
The whole presentation comes together such that you'll completely forget that the characters and settings in Uncharted 2 are in fact not real people or places. With dozens of trophies and in-game achievements, plus an unlockable crushing difficulty and 100 treasures stashed throughout the game's single player, one could easily justify the game's purchase on the story mode alone. However, this time round, Naughty Dog included a full online suite with all varieties of deathmatch, objective modes, and co-op modes. Ranked and unranked matchmaking, plus full lobby and friend support make jumping into a game easy and pain-free. I personally enjoyed playing the co-op modes, the short 3-person objective campaign, or the survival modes where you hold out against wave after wave of enemy. A twist on the typical horde mode, one of the survival modes tasked you with delivering a treasure from a random point A to a random point B during each wave, only ending the round upon delivering the treasure. You level your online profile by acquiring money from playing matches or earning achievements like double kills or melee kills in a round. The money you earn can be used to buy character models, taunts, or boosters that can be equipped to augment your character, such as carrying more grenades or moving faster while aiming. With an action-packed plot constantly keeping you on the edge of your seat, Uncharted 2 gets a 10 for story. Setting a graphical benchmark not soon to be surpassed, design is also a 10. Acrobatic third-person, cover-based, platformer action all over the world, gameplay scores a solid 9. With the feel of a blockbuster action movie without being forced to merely watch the action, Uncharted 2 earns a 10 in presentation. Engaging multiplayer and thrilling single player will keep the disc in your PS3 for a long time to come. Replay value is 9. Overall, Uncharted 2 scores a 9.7.